Welcome to the State of Football Show. I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm joined by the most manly voice you ever heard, the one, the only, Trey. On today's podcast, we'll be discussing Higgins and Jamar Chase's new contract. How will the Cincinnati Bengals address the defense? Terry McLaurin, is he worth $30 million a year? Proposed NFL rule changes. Cowboys don't have a backup quarterback. Cooper Rush to Baltimore. All right, so if you've been living under a rock, we have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase's new contracts, and how will that affect the Cincinnati Bengals defense? And what is that going to be as far as Hendrickson and his contract? So T. Higgins, he got a 4-year, $115 million contract. As far as I understand, it should be about $40 million guaranteed. $30 million of that is guaranteed at signing. But if you look at his stats over the past couple of years, he hasn't been playing. Let's see, in 2023, he played 12 games, and then last year he played 12 games as well. So part of his contract stipulation is if he plays the full 17 games, he'll get $2 million in his contract. So that's a big incentive for him to play. I think the Bengals have a issue with him being available all the time, because I looked at his last year, 2024, he had a healthy scratch, is I think what they called it. So I'm not really for sure what that's all about.
Well, it sounds like they want him to play. They need him to play.
It's kind of a weird situation. Honestly, I've never found out why. Something about him being sore or something, I have no idea. But his other part of his contract, he can $8 million of the potential $115 million can be earned into those per game bonuses. Yeah.
Those incentives.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
And then even, let's see here, Higgins can earn an extra $1 million for playing 65% of the snaps in the regular season, and then if the Bengals end up winning the AFC Championship, that'll activate that $1 million bonus. And then if they're able to win the Super Bowl, he can earn an extra $1.7 million. And of course, he has to still play 65% of the snaps.
Yeah, which he should be able to do that. That should be an easy one to get. I would expect.
You would hope, because I mean they're putting so much into him and Jamar.
Yeah, and it sounds like a big number, the 115. But I mean, when you break it down like that, it's really not all that big, I guess. He's got a huge signing bonus, right? At $30 million.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I mean, I guess it sounds like a pretty smart contract, honestly, on the team side, I guess.
Yeah, I was reading a bunch of guys were, I guess they're probably agents and even players as well, talking about how he should have never signed that contract. And I even think Micah Parsons had mentioned something about it as well, which was interesting because he has a contract coming up as well.
Yeah. So players union not so happy with that contract.
No, not at all.
But sure, the owners are very happy. Do you know how old T. Higgins is?
Yes, he is 26.
Oh, okay. So 26 years old, locked up for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously how a lot of these contracts are, it's the guaranteed money is all that really matters. I could see the Bengals keeping him for at least 3 years for sure. And he's 1 year older than Jamar Chase, so more than likely they'll stick together for the good part of their career.
So they got with him, Chase and Burrows, they got a good core.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
go into the future. I saw as well they signed their tight end for 3 years, so they got him as well. I guess that was like a Burrow thing from what I read. He really likes that tight end. I think his name is Gasicki, something like
Ooh,
that. I don't really know how to say his name.
let's see. I didn't know they signed him.
Mm, That's what I read.
Let's see.
You never know though. You can't trust anything you read anymore.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, he got re-signed.
And of course, Burrow's locked up 5 year, $275 million. So they are really focused on offense right now.
Yeah.
Like if you break down looking at their salary hit, I mean, Burrow's going to get 46 million, Higgins will get 24, and then Chase will get 23. That's $93 million right there in like three players. That's and all on offense. So
I'm not a math person, but that's a pretty big percentage.
yeah, it is. It is. Did you want to get into the Chase's contract too?
Yeah.
Let's see. He signed
Looks like
what, 4 years, 161 million?
yeah, just a easy 161, no big deal.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, so he is locked in for the 4 year 161 million, and then his guaranteed, which is the big number, is 73.9 million. It looks like it's kind of front loaded, which I think a lot of contracts are for the most part, but 2025 he'll earn 41.7 or 41 17.17 million, and that is including the base salary, roster bonus, and per game incentives. And then in 2026 he will earn 32.73 million. So
Jeez.
the potentially the first 2 years he could earn about 75 million. So you can say
Nice.
Jamar is pretty happy camper.
Yeah. Players Union is happy about that one.
Yeah.
They want that one.
But
Yeah. I mean, he's a great player. There's no denying it.
yeah, I mean Jamar last year had over 1,700 receiving yards with
Gosh. Oh yeah.
17 touchdowns.
I'm looking at that. That is insane. 1,700 yards. Looks like he's had over 1,000 yards since he's been in the NFL every season.
Yeah, I mean arguably the best wide receiver in the league for the past couple of years for sure.
Yeah, it's like him and Justin Jefferson, probably 1A, 1B.
Yeah, let's see
Golly.
here. Honestly, it's pretty impressive because I think let me look here. Yeah, Jamar Chase in season, let's see what season this is. His second season, he actually only played 12 games and he still had over 1,000 receiving yards. So 9 touchdowns.
Golly. Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of leads us into the what about the defense? So I think the biggest question mark is their edge, Trey Hendrickson. He's still under contract for next year, but he's starting to sit out. He wants a new extent or a new contract or an extension, I guess. And I think the Bengals would be foolish to not lock him up. I mean, I don't understand why they're waiting. He's like the last two seasons had 17 and a half sacks, which was just that's a lot of sacks. That's really, really good. I don't know what the hesitation is, signing the other players, Higgins and their tight end. I mean, you gotta lock up Hendrickson, right?
Yeah, but as some GMs say, there's not enough pie to go around.
Bro, I don't know. I think I would have. I don't know. I mean, if it were me, I think I would have gotten Hendrickson done before Higgins, but I mean, I don't know. I know the Bengals can be their ownership can be just march to the beat of their own drum, I guess.
Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
their owner is the GM also as well, right? Is he also the GM?
that I don't know.
To look that up.
Do not know. I would say no because that's seems to be only reserved for one franchise.
Yeah.
but I've been wrong before.
The director of player personnel is Duke Tobin, and he acts as the team's general manager. I guess they don't have an official GM.
Interesting. I wonder if
Yeah,
that's the only team that does that.
that is interesting. I've never heard of him. Duke Tobin.
He
He's
sounds
a
very proper.
yeah, interesting looking guy. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a little weird, you know, because as we stated earlier, Hendrickson is really, really good, and he's really, really pissed right now. And I don't know.
Rightfully so. I mean, he's,
Yeah,
if
I
I'm not
mean,
mistaken, he led the league in sacks for the past 2 years, or overall, maybe.
hmm definitely. I mean, I know he did last year, probably the year before. He had 17 and a half that year as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I think,
he's up there if he's not leading. If he's not number one, he's got to be number two. I don't know who would be ahead of him, but
yeah, I think the past 2 seasons he's had the most sacks, and a lot of these edge rushers they're getting new contracts, and he's just sitting there like twiddling his thumbs. So
hmm
you got
yeah,
Miles Garrett,
yeah,
Micah is coming up.
so Miles Garrett. He's the highest paid non-quarterback, right? Is that still the case, or has somebody else signed for more since then?
Jamar Chase, I think, took that title
Oh, he
from
surpassed
Miles.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like probably by $100,000 maybe. But we got some potential landing spots for Trey Hendrickson if he does end up getting traded. So we have potentially the trade package the Chargers have been sending to Cincinnati is the 2025 second round pick, which should be number 55 overall. And then the Chargers would get, it looks like it's just a straight up trade. Second round pick for Hendrickson.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the Chargers can give him a nice contract. They, according to Spot Rack, the Chargers currently have $47 million in cap space. So they have plenty of cap space to sign him
Yeah.
to a new contract.
Play
Uh,
alongside Joey Bosa.
well, Joey, he got
That would be.
released. He got released. He's not there anymore.
They released Joey Bosa. What?
Yes, sir.
Man, this is why you do this right here. You
Exactly.
are up to date.
This is why we're part-time sports guys.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh, you're
Let's
right.
see here. Yep. I don't think
It's
he
like
got.
he's a Buffalo Bill, it appears.
Yeah, there's
Huh.
a bunch of speculation that he's going to go to San Francisco with his brother, but that obviously did not happen.
My wife will now be a Buffalo Bills fan.
Mm. He is a good-looking man.
He is. He likes to wear those shorts in warm-ups.
Was that Nick Bosa or is that Joey Bosa that does that? I think it's Nick Bosa that does
I
that.
think it is Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is the
He's
thirst
a
trap.
Yeah, he's got them tree trunk legs.
Yeah, he does.
You just crush a watermelon with that thing, amongst other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another potential landing spot for Trey Hendrickson is also the Green Bay Packers. It's a logical landing spot. They need a proven pass rusher, and they have plenty
hmm
of available cap space. I don't know exactly the amount they have.
I don't even know a current Packers edge rusher to be wrong about still playing on their team. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't either.
I'm pretty sure Clay Matthews is gone by now. So I'm not going to say him.
Yeah, I think he's been gone for some time.
Yeah, he's gonna be great with Clay Matthews. They're just gonna tear it up.
Exactly. Like back in 2010.
uh, sorry.
Looks like they have 31.7 million in cap space, so they could probably make that work. There's
Yeah, I'm
always
sure that's.
fluctuations in the cap. They can restructure contracts and whatnot. So, of course, there's always the option for the Bengals to just give Hendrickson a 1-year deal and just throw him 30 million. But honestly, I don't really see that happening. He probably, just like any other player, he wants multiple years and guaranteed money. So he is already 30. For being honest, it's probably going to
Yeah,
be his last big contract that he can get.
time to cash in.
Yep,
One last
exactly.
time, I guess.
Yep. So he'd be smart to play hardball with him for sure.
I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but do you know? So he's under contract for this year. So next year he'd be a unrestricted free agent, a UFA. So they couldn't franchise him.
No, they're going to have to sign him to a contract this year if he doesn't, because next year he is an unrestricted free agent.
So they couldn't do it. Okay,
Yeah. So this is a year.
that'll be interesting.
And it looks
Be insane
like,
if they let him go.
sitting here looking, it appears last year in July he had signed a 1-year, $21 million contract extension. This is definitely on Cincinnati. They should have got that done
Hmm.
first.
Well, that'll be interesting to see. Maybe by next week we'll have an answer to the Trey Hendrickson saga. We'll have an ending to it, I guess.
You never know. We'll see. Maybe Philly will get him. It's always
Just kind of reading
possible.
about it right now, kind of on the spot. It looks like the Commanders are very interested in getting Hendrickson.
They're kind of the Washington Commanders are kind of going all in, honestly. I feel like they're in
Yeah,
all these trade talks, all these big signings. They are always in it.
I mean they got Jaden Daniels on his rookie deal. It's time to
Have to.
spend the money to put players around him
Yep, have to.
while you still can. Because if he keeps playing like he did last season, he's going to get a big, big contract. But that won't be for another, what, 3 years? 2 or
Yeah,
3 years, I guess.
unless he gets mad.
He will, yeah.
I guess we
By
can
year 3.
go ahead and pivot since we're talking about the Commanders. And what does the market look like for Terry McLaurin?
So he'll be a free agent after this coming season, after the 2025 season. Let's look at old scary Terry.
It's maybe his last big contract.
Yeah, 29 years old, Ohio State Buckeyes, a third round pick in 2019. And let me look. So after his rookie season, he had, let me look, 919 yards. But every season after that, it's been over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
And
pretty.
with a bunch of different quarterbacks. I mean, they had, I had to pull, they had Carson Wentz, they had Alex Smith, Ryan Fitzpatrick was even in there. Looks like Garrett Gilbert maybe got a game with them. Colt McCoy. I mean, just a bunch of quarterbacks, but still getting over 1,000 yards consistently. Last season, I believe he set a Commander's record for most touchdowns in a season. He had 13, which seems kind of low, so I may be mistaken about that, but I swear I read that somewhere. But you know me, I'm always getting NBA Sentinel, I guess. But yeah, like you said, very solid player. You know, talking about T. Higgins, I mean, he's comparable to Higgins. I think, the only big difference is his age, and receivers typically decline in age 29 to 30.
For
So
sure.
you got that. I mean, really, that's it. Like I said, consistently over 1,000 yards. I don't. If he's going to be right for the Commanders again, he might end up going somewhere else to finish out his career. But
It's always a
still a
possibility.
solid receiver, though. I mean, like for example, some other or wide receivers that are making around 30 million. I mean, the one I think that most stands out to me is Tyreek Hill. But I know, because he's the same age too. I believe he might even be 30. And he's kind of had a decline, but I don't think that's all 100% his, due to his age.
Right.
Miami's had some QB issues for sure. So,
Yeah.
who's to say on that?
You can make the case that he's potentially a better wide receiver because Terry's had so many different quarterbacks, and Jaden Daniels is his first quarterback. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback for him.
Hmm. And not to mention, like we're just talking quarterbacks. the coaching staff, right? I mean, he's had plenty of coaches and OCs as well to go along with those quarterbacks.
They call old Cliff Kingsbury kind of the quarterback whisperer because I know he coached Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and those type of caliber of players.
All right, don't forget about his best coaching ever was Johnny Manziel at A&M.
Oh, how could I forget? Well, Johnny
Yeah,
Football
that's where he made his name. That's what got him the tech job. Johnny Football.
lived on that high for years, huh?
Until he was in the casino wearing a mustache or whatever. I can't remember the night before a game.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I got on old Scary Terry. I think good signing. I was just saying he'll be a solid signing into his career for probably another team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of the NFC East teams, you definitely don't want him in your division.
Mm-mm.
Just looking at the wide receiver salaries, he currently ranks number 16 on that list. He's pretty low down on there. And I also got some wide receiver comparisons as well. Ironically, I didn't know this, but he is stat wise better than DK Metcalf, if you could believe that.
No.
And yeah. So DK Metcalf in 2023, he had 66 receiving or catches rather, with the 1,114 yards with 8 touchdowns. And then in 2024, 66 catches with 992 yards with 5 touchdowns. And if you compare that to Terry, he had in 2023 79 catches for a little over 1,000 yards with 4 touchdowns. And then in 2024, he had 82 catches for 1,096 yards with 13 touchdowns. You can make the case that he's better than DK Metcalf, and I think DK just signed that big contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so
Mm-hmm.
can definitely make the case for it.
Definitely, Terry is definitely a touchdown machine. It would seem. Good gosh.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see.
depending on what they do
38
in the
career
draft,
touchdowns so far.
Washington just added Debo. That may help him in his production potentially.
Oh yeah, yeah for sure. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's a good point.
And we still got the draft, so they could be adding more weapons.
Just a quick fun fact about Terry. Apparently, he ranks number 6 all-time Commanders receivers and yards.
It's impressive. Only 6 seasons, right? 6 seasons, I think.
Since 2019. So yeah, this will be his 6th season.
Yeah, with
If
all
my math is correct.
Yeah, that's crazy, honestly, especially with all the rotation at quarterback, which is usually not good for wide receivers at all.
No, it's not.
Just a testament to him.
Man, looking at this list, though, there's some names I remember. I'm sure you can name one of the top. So he's number 6. I'm sure you can name one of the top 5. One of them's pretty obvious.
Gotta go. The only wide receiver I know is Ark Monk.
Art Monk, yeah, he's number 1.
Oh, got the best one.
Yeah, he's definitely number 1. He, let's see, 12,000 yards in his career with the Commanders. Played there for 13 years. The one I thought you were going to say was Santana Moss. That's the one I remember. He was number 4.
The little brother to Randy Moss. Just kidding. NFL rule change proposals for 2025. We have surprisingly, the Packers are looking to hopefully ban the tush push. Find that kind of funny because I don't think that really affected them in the playoffs like it did against Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then
even the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
Remember they jumped all sides like 7 times in a row or something trying to beat that thing.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which team it was because it felt like 25 minutes that we were watching the same play.
And the officials threatened to just award a touchdown.
I found that very interesting. I didn't know that was possible to just award someone a touchdown like that.
Yeah, first I ever heard of it.
We have the Lions, of course, because of their division. this year was pretty tough. The NFC North, they're looking for the best record over winning the division under the new proposal. So to break it down, the division winner of the conferences with the best record would still receive the number one overall seed, but after that, the teams would be stacked by records, regardless of if they won their divisions or received wild card berths. I do want to note that NBA does something very, very similar to that.
Yeah, yeah. And I really like that. I mean, just real quick on this rule change, I'm all for it. I think obviously it's from last season, right? The Vikings and the Lions had the same
Mm-hmm.
same record, or
I
the
think
Vikings maybe had one game,
it was one of
lost one more
those,
game.
yeah, it was one of those weird ones at the end where if this team wins and then that person loses, they get the number one seed, and then the
Hmm.
other one gets like the fifth seed. Just
Yeah, well, they got the
something,
wild card.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I think playing in I mean, essentially, if you're playing in a strong division, essentially being seeded lower for playing in a tougher division makes NFL playoffs less exciting.
yeah,
I mean, not that it's any other team's fault, but it kind of rewards the weaker divisions. At the end of the day, it makes the playoffs less competitive, in my opinion.
yeah. I would agree, and it's just not. There's like a aspect of fairness or something to it. I don't, because the
Mm-hmm.
Vikings were, what was their record last?
Let's
They were
see.
14-3
Mm-hmm.
last season, and they were a wild card, and they went to what was going to be LA, but that game got moved to Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
but they played the
Yeah.
and the Rams are 10-7. So the 10-7 team has home field advantage, or would have, except for this situation. And I just don't see how that's, like I said, how it's fair. I guess I don't have a better word or a better way to say it, but
Yeah.
I like the way the NBA does it. You mentioned that earlier. It's just conference. Essentially it's just conference. I don't even there's divisions in the NBA which I don't even know what they are. I couldn't tell you what division the Mavericks play in. I'd have no idea. Do you?
No, not anymore.
Mm-mm.
I used to know. It's kind of, I think even the NHL does it that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just have the big conferences, and that's pretty much. I know NHL they do break it down, but for the most part, it's all by conference.
I mean, they just changed it. Apparently, they just went from the NFL went from three divisions to four in 2002, so they made it even worse, I guess. Yeah, like I said, I'm all for this rule change. Just best record determines where you are in the playoffs and which team plays, which team and where they play.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer to me. But I think the more interesting one is the change proposed to change or to ban, I should say, the tush push. So, like you said, the Packers looking to ban it. We discussed earlier how the Commanders really should be the ones doing it, but I mean, they're kind of just, I don't want to say hiding behind it, but they're just claiming player safety is the reason why they want to ban this play. I mean, the contact and the hitting, the hits to the head and all that stuff. That's what they're saying, but I mean, I think really it's just they can't stop it. Nobody can find a way to stop this play,
Right.
and so the only way maybe to get this play to be unsuccessful is to ban it entirely. But there are some cool little things about this play. I mean, I guess it originated in 2018. I didn't know Sirianni was the OC of the Colts in 2018.
Yep. Yes.
Couldn't have told you that. Was that the Carson Wentz experiment? I don't even.
2018. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Well,
one.
anyways, I guess they ran it with Jacoby Brissett, big old
Mm-hmm.
quarterback at 240 pounds, I think.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to the Eagles, when he came over to the Eagles, they brought over a rugby coach, this guy named Richie Gray, and he kind of advised the offensive line coach on the formation and how to improve it, how the guys get lower in their stance, kind of bunched together.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's kind of a rugby play. I think they're just kind of wanting to outlaw the pushing. I guess they don't like, how the two, tailbacks will push the quarterback forward.
Right.
People are saying that that's already against the rules. You can't push a player forward, even though like a running back can be running out, in the open field,
Mm-hmm.
get stopped, and then 300-pound offensive lineman can come up and just push him forward.
Right.
I don't see how that's any different than this, but the offense has a huge advantage because they know the snap count, so they know when to start. I mean, but that's kind of the case with every play, so I don't really understand that side of it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just kind of weak, you know? Why not just stop it or just let it play out? Because I mean, it's kind of like, oh, we don't like RPOs because we get confused. Like that just
mhm.
it's just kind of part of the game. So instead of trying to get it banned, why not draft some personnel to stop that play, or
Yeah.
I don't know, hire a couple rugby coaches to stop it. I think they call it the skirmish or something like that.
Uh, yeah, I was looking at it earlier.
I mean, instead of just banning things, why don't we try to learn how to stop it?
The rugby scrum, yeah, you're right. Did she say scrum? That's what they call it.
I think I said,
The rugby scrum. I mean, on the other side, it's already illegal for defensive players to push each other. Like a linebacker can't push another linebacker into the guy at the football to tackle them. That'd be really cool if you could. I don't know. It's just another way the NFL wants the offense to have the advantage so they can score more points.
that's a it's all about entertainment, right? And TV
Which is
ratings.
probably why this one will not get. They won't touch this one. I think they'll just leave it alone. And hey, the Commanders are on to something. Maybe you're jumping off sides. If they had just got the snap count, if they just guessed right,
Mm-hmm.
they would have stopped it. you
Yeah.
just got to
Uh,
time it right.
Even Chris Jones, I think in the Super Bowl, he was lining up in a weird, like sideways nearly. I don't know if you remember that or
Mm.
not, but he was trying to do something. Uh, Ended up not working out, but at least he was trying something different.
So I'm glad you mentioned lineup because I'm gonna send you some pictures. So I'll text them to you. But this is the one thing that I think should be changed about it, if anything. Like not ban it, but they just went through. But it's an illegal formation. If you look at these pictures, every time they line up, the center is over the ball. His head is,
Oh, yep.
or his helmet, is lined up in the neutral zone. That's illegal formation.
Oh. So we got a little conspiracy going on.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
that's
you're right. Especially that second pitcher against the looks like the Buccaneers.
yeah. You can't even see the ball.
Yeah.
You just see a top view of the center, and the ball is like in his below his stomach or something, like straight below his stomach or his chest. But yeah, it's definitely an illegal formation. I feel like that should be called, but
Yeah, that's something
so I guess I
the
wouldn't.
NFL officiating, whatever their governing body is, they probably need to look into that.
But yeah, so kind of going down the rabbit hole of plays that were banned or rules that were changed because of something that happened. I did stumble across the Holy Roller. Have you ever heard of that? I think I sent you the video. I did send you the video earlier.
Yes, that was Ken Stabler,
That's
the
right.
man's man.
Yeah. That was. Let me bring up the page I had on that. So Holy Roller. Uh, let's see, the Raiders game versus the Chargers in 1978. Stabler was sacked or was going to be sacked, and he fumbled the ball. I mean, you saw the video. He definitely rolled it forward, right?
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of bowling out there.
Yeah. On top of that, the player that picked it up kicked it into the end zone. Another Raiders player jumped on it. Touchdown Raiders. Crazy, crazy play. But they made a rule about it called the what is it? I think it's actually called the Ken Stabler rule. Was it
That's perfect.
the Ken Stabler rule unofficially? I think officially it's known as something else, but it's a rule that states that if a player fumbles the ball after the 2-minute warning and a half or overtime on fourth down, only the fumbling player can recover and advance the ball. Which I kind of think even now, if an offensive player recovers a fumble, he can't advance it, right? I still think that was that's why they always just kind of jump on it. That's what I thought, but I could be wrong on that part. Just an interesting little thing I found while looking at the tush push.
So we got some backup quarterback action, Trey. Looks like
My
old,
favorite.
yeah, you got to have a backup quarterback in this league for sure. Looks like Dallas Cowboys, they lost Mr. Reliable Cooper Rush. It looks like he's going to Baltimore Ravens. He is signing a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Ravens, so he's going to be backing up Lamar Jackson. That'll be quite interesting if
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it doesn't happen, but if Lamar ever gets hurt, that's going to be an interesting situation for him.
Yeah.
That whole team is based off the run. Obviously, Lamar's a huge, huge part to that.
It's definitely an interesting signing for the Ravens. That is for sure.
Is he even
Because,
going to
like you
look good in
mentioned,
that uniform?
no, no, he's not. In that
I mean,
purple and white and the black, all black color scheme, there's just no way. I don't see Cooper Rush in that uniform.
with his red hair.
His ginger qualities to him. But I mean, you're telling me the Cowboys couldn't sling a 2-year, $6 million deal for Cooper Rush? I mean,
Nope. We
now they don't have. They have what? Will Greer. I think that's the backup now for the Cowboys.
Yes, he is currently the only quarterback on the roster other than Dak Prescott. So you would
And
be
it's not like
correct.
Dak ever gets hurt or anything, so you don't.
Yeah,
You're
he
fine.
hasn't. He didn't get hurt last year at all.
No, no, he didn't turn his foot upside, the complete wrong direction a couple of years ago. So, no, they're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. They don't need one. There's still a couple quarterbacks. Carson Wentz is still out there. You have Joe Flacco, of course,
Yeah, A
Russell
Rod.
Wilson. Yep. A-Rod, Russell Wilson, they're still out there. There has surprisingly been some trade talks with the Cowboys getting Joe Milton from the New England Patriots. Apparently, the Patriots are wanting, and this is all speculation, wanting at least a third round draft pick.
No.
Yeah, immediate no on that one for
Immediately
sure.
no.
I don't know if you know, but apparently everyone is pretty impressed with Joe Milton's arm strength. I don't know if you've watched any videos of him throwing the football, but he does have a cannon for sure.
Can't say
Uh,
that I have.
yeah.
Don't
But
forget Trey
yeah,
Lance. He's also around.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Lance was taken in the first round.
Oh
Supposed to be
yeah.
a really good quarterback, and we just spent a draft pick for no reason after Kyle Shanahan couldn't use him.
I, that franchise confuses me. But another potential backup news: the Giants signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million contract
I,
because
I want to be
I guess
honest
they
with
don't have.
Yeah, I
Go
want to
ahead.
be honest with you, Trey. I'm really excited about this because
Yeah,
the Giants suck and
they
they're
do.
terrible to watch. And now I have a reason to watch.
He definitely put. There's always entertainment when Jameis Winston is your quarterback. That is
He
for sure.
he's the most entertaining quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
he's going to throw 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, but he's going to throw 3 interceptions, and 2 of them are going to be taken back to the house. I promise.
that's right. Yeah, and at least one will be while he's getting sacked. He'll be like
Exactly.
horizontal to the ground, like parallel to the ground, and he'll throw the football
And I'm going to tell you
with
this: it's going to be
with an edge on.
it's going to be a very important game, and he's going to run the ball in for a touchdown to win the game.
Okay, so just looking at Winston's stats. So last year, I mean, played with the Browns, obviously, had an 80.6 QBR, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
I love
So
it. I'm all for it.
yeah, looks
I'm
like his best year was 2019, 5,000 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. So he's consistent with that that TD interception ratio. He's wow.
I love it. I wish the Dallas Cowboys would have went in on that.
Oh man, that would have been good.
Yeah, you're not kidding. He's thrown a lot of interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
God, is that a record? 30 interceptions in one season?
It, let me look that up. Let me see. You're looking at that night train? That's not. That can't be right.
That's only 14. There's no way.
Yeah. It looks like George Blanda might have the record at 42 interceptions
Oh my
in
gosh.
1962.
Uh, we got the great Vinny Testaverde, 35.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, we got a lot of tied for seventh place. You had mentioned him earlier, Ken Stabler, 30 interceptions.
Uh, those are those aren't legit. One of them was a touchdown, so okay. for his own team.
Looks like Jameis Winston is ranked 7th on that list.
Okay. So
So
hey,
maybe he can add to
not
that.
even not even top five, so they're good. I guess he's better than who the Giants rolled out last year. Was it Tommy DeVito? What was his name?
Tommy, yeah.
Wasn't that
Yep.
Tommy DeVito?
He's re-signed as well. Big signing.
You know, that's interesting because a lot of the mock drafts I was looking at, they had the Giants trading up to get Cam Ward. So maybe that doesn't happen now.
Jameis has definitely got to be a bridge quarterback, right?
Yeah. Or maybe they draft Shador. Just get Shador Sanders in there.
It's possible. It is very possible.
No, but there's one other little quick hit I wanted to show you, Hutch.
Let it rip.
So March Madness is this is gonna be a little bit of college basketball, but
I love it.
you'll understand why in a minute. But watching who was playing. So Arkansas upset St. John's earlier today. Arkansas ranked number 10, I think. St. John's number 2.
Okay, okay.
But it's a battle of some legendary coaches. It's John Calipari versus Pitino. What's his first? Is it Rick Pitino, right?
Yes,
You
Rick
remember
Pitino.
You remember Rick Pitino?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
There's some good
So
stories.
I'm gonna send you a picture of John Calipari's suit, and you just tell me if I'm reading too much into it, okay? Because maybe I'm just like getting too deep, but
All right, so I'll definitely put this picture up on the feed.
okay.
Looks like John is wearing a plaid suit.
Right. And does it resemble maybe a red and white checkered tablecloth to you? I don't. That's just me reading too much into it.
Like at an Italian restaurant by chance?
Maybe like at an Italian restaurant. Maybe, you're going on a nice date with your grad student assistant.
Is that normal? Is that normal, Trey?
I mean, for some people it is. Some people it's completely normal.
Shout out Bill Belichick.
That's right. Yeah, Belichick learned from Patino maybe. I don't know, but
Legend.
you know, some people have their sexual stamina notated in legal documents.
That poor man.
Oh no. I just saw that and I was like, maybe, like I said, he probably didn't do it on purpose. But what if he did? What if he wore that suit on purpose?
It's a coincidence, Trey.
Just a coincidence. You're right.
There's no way that's not a coincidence.
But who can tell? But it worked. Maybe it did work. Maybe it was a head game. It was all mind games, and it worked because, like I said, they upset St. John's to advance to the next round. I don't even know. To be honest, I don't keep up with a whole lot of the college basketball, but
Yeah,
that happened to be on. I saw it, and I
I love it.
had to save it for the podcast.
I love it. I mean, you gotta do whatever you can to win in March Madness. You gotta get little mind games. That's what you gotta do.
That's right, little genjutsu or something going there. But anyways,
Love the Naruto reference.
yeah, that's all I got, man. That's it.
Well, sweet. We'll go ahead and close out the podcast here. If you're still listening, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That's Trey on the other side of the mic, and this is Ryan or Hutch. And we're out of here. Thank you.
Yep. See you next week.